Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are talking about The Leopard Man. Really quick though, before I get into anything else, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. Thank you guys so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Alright, so directed by Jacques Turner, The Leopard Man takes place in New Mexico when a publicity stunt goes wrong and ends up in a leopard being released in the city. That same night, the leopard kills a young girl. When more killings follow, performer Kiki and her boyfriend Jerry start to believe that a man may actually be committing the murders and blaming it on the leopard. Alright, so in the summer of 1952, RKO reissued this film as a double feature alongside King Kong. Theater goers, however, were duped by the pairing, expecting The Leopard Man to be a creature film like King Kong. In reality, the film suggests the murderer is a man imitating the killing style of a leopard. Nothing supernatural, just a serial killer. Okay, so what I liked about this movie, first biggest thing, this movie proves in spades that the unseen is sometimes a whole hell of a lot scarier than what is actually seen. The first kill, which is the only kill in the movie that's actually from the leopard, happens to be a girl whose mother forces her to go out for cornmeal. Even though the girl is frightened because of the leopard escaping, and you know, she tells the mother this. The mother knows that there's an escaped leopard in the city, and the winner for the worst movie mother goes to her mom. Basically kicks her out and locks her out until she comes back with the cornmeal. So there's a very tense sequence of her having to walk through town, and the closest grocery store is closed, so she has to go out even further for the cornmeal. And you know, the whole time we're just like biting our nails because we know she's gonna run into that leopard, which of course she does, and it chases her all the way back home. At this moment, we are inside the house the entire time. We don't actually see her running up to the door, but we hear her pounding on the door and screaming for her mom to let her back in, saying the leopard is right behind her, it's gonna get her. And of course the mom, again, earning her title as worst movie mother, it's just like, whatever, come back when you have the cornmeal. And it's not only till she actually starts screaming that the mother is like, oh, something might actually be wrong. But then at that point, you know, we hear her screaming, we hear like her being knocked against the door, and then all we see is just some blood trickling in under the door. Like, holy shit. Scariest scene of the movie by far, and we never actually see the leopard killing the girl. We don't even see the aftermath. We just hear her screaming, we see the blood coming in under the door, and it's just amazing. It was such a well put together scene. So effective. The other kills in the movie only show the aftermath, really. So maybe not quite as effective as this first one, but it also works to conceal that the killer, the rest of the movie, is a man. This was, I mean, it was just an effective way to make a scare without actually showing anything. One of the books on horror movies I have, called The Fear Makers, John McCarty, the author, is talking about Jacques Turner, and he says that Turner was convinced that horror films would prove much more effective in the shutters department. The story was presented realistically and straight, emphasizing the psychological elements of fear rather than more blatant horrors, which Turner felt were best left to the audience's imagination, which I could not agree more. I don't think every horror movie should rely on the audience's imagination. Sometimes you want to see it. You want to see what it is, or you want to see who it is, obviously. But I'm not gonna lie that more often than not, the unseen is way scarier to me than anything that an FX department can come up with, even though there are usually amazing people working on these movies. I also loved the sick twist at the end when we find out the leopard was found outside of town and shot by the murderer like a week prior. So basically after he kills that girl and they go on the search party for the leopard, like the murderer comes across the leopard and kills them, doesn't tell anybody else, so that everyone thinks it's a leopard the entire time. It's at this point that it's confirmed that the last 2 kills were by a man, and they do a great job of like concealing this to the point that even like I kind of don't believe Jerry like either when he's claiming the killer was a man. At most I was thinking it was like cat people, where it was like a man turning into a leopard. The only thing I could say I didn't like about the movie was a lack of a main character. I know it's kind of played off like Jerry and Kiki are the leads, and they are, I suppose, but the movie, it just feels like it divides its time very equally between all the victims and our main characters. So in that way, it feels weird when we get towards the end of the movie and it's like the Jerry and Kiki show pretty much, when up until that moment, they're not in the movie all that much. Like in the beginning, yes, with the publicity stunt, and then it mostly focuses on all the victims, and then we go back to Jerry and Kiki at the end. So it's, I don't know, it was very odd. Like it just felt like there wasn't really a main character. And besides that one little thing though, was the movie worth it? Absolutely. I really enjoyed this one. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 6.9 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 88% critic score and a 64% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.5 out of 5. The Leopard Man is available on Amazon, so I'll leave an affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out that way. There's no pressure to use the link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!